Here I am going to teach how to perform CRUD operations using Restful API services in ASP.NET Core Winforms. So I am able to do get all. You can see get all. So I'm able to get the status of all the API calls, and if I want specific to any particular data, I can mention here one and I can get that particular record only. Also I'm returning what is the status code is returning for web API. Same status code I am using, because get methods it will return 200 OK status, and I want to use post method. So here I'm going to do, for example, uh, to add some data, dummy data, and just I will post. So 201 is created. You can see data is created successfully. If I want to update, I can use update. So just I will put method 200 OK status is updated. And if at all I want to delete this ID, so just I will put ID 1 and delete. So here deleted, returning the status code 204. Now we can see how to implement same scenario step by step. So we'll see in step by step. So first this is my existing project. Here I'm going to add one more form here. So form name I will use call API or RESTful API, whatever the name you want, you can give it. So I will use call API. I'm giving the form name and click add. So my existing application, I added the new form that is going to create into the under the form folder. So it's created. So I will go to the program.cs file and I will set the default. Default it should have to call the call API. So just I'm updating here call API. That's it. So I will go to the form view here. I'm selecting the button. Go to properties and I will select here 12 and click OK. Now I want to change this button names and size. So this name I will give btn get all and btn get. So always you have to use proper naming convention, that is good practice. Post Okay, everything done. Now we will write for the code. So double click here, get all. See here we need to get API. I said earlier, so we are going to consume the record from the API. So for that we need API. So right now I'm not going to teach how to create the API, those things and all. So just I will teach how to consume the API in our Windows Forms. That is the agenda of this video. So for that we need some API, right? Some API response. We need some API need to be there. So I'm going to take the dummy API. Dummy API means a fake API. I'm going to take. So if you're going to the browser, you can just browse it dummy API. You will get any dummy API. For right now, I am going to use one website that it will provide the dummy API. So just HTTPS RE REQRES request response dot in. So this API, this application I'm going to use for the consuming the dummy APIs. So dummy API nothing but fake data. It will give the exact status code with the fake data. See here we have the request and response. You can see list of the user. It going to list this many data. If a single user, it will give the this many data. Single data it will give. And so here I'm going to take get list of the user. I will use it as a get all, and get I'm going to use it as a get method here, and I'm going to use a post method, put method, and finally delete method. So CRUD operation I'm going to use using this fake response, fake APIs. Okay. For that I need API, right? This is the URL. Just you can copy the URL, copy link address. I'm going to create some helper class here. For that I will have the folder called shared here. If you want to use folder or you no need to use folder, that up to you. So just I create one helper class. I will name it as rest helper and click add. So one class file I'm going to create. I call it as a rest helper here. So that I'm going to use. So for link static rest helper I'm going to create. Here I'm going to create the method to return the uh, response. So public static async task of get all. Here I'm going to use HTTP client. See, by default HTTP client it will throw the error. So you have to insert using system.net.http. Just include that, and dot get async. So here I am going to use this base URL plus followed by, so I'm going to the website. I want to list up the user. So I need to get what is the users. So just I will copy this URL. You can hit what you are getting here. The page number 2, you will get all the data. If I'm not passing page number, what it will happen? You are getting this. So I'm going to use this is the my response. So I'm just copy this user here and I will add it here. So that means API/users you will get here. So you are getting the response. From the response, I need to take the content. So here res content. So I'm going to take the content here. Same content I have to read as a string I need to use. So string data equal to content dot read as a string async. This method will read the content string content from the response. So till here we done because is expecting the task of the result. So task I need to resolve first. So threading, it will resolve the task here, and before reading here we need to use await keyword to read this because this is asynchronous calls. That's why we need to use await here, and I'm going to return this string if data not equal to null. I want to return this string. So I'm going to return data. Okay, still we are getting issue. In case if API nothing is happen, I want to return the empty string. Return string dot m. That's it. I done the API calls here. Helper class I created. Get all method. This method I'm going to use it in our form. So just I will open my form here. Form here. So get all method is there. Here I'm going to call that helper class here. So I created method name rest helper. That's a class name I created helper. Just resolve it. So it will ask me using shared. I got it. Dot get all method. So this get all method it will get all the record from the API. But I need to assign this value into my response. Response nothing but I need to store it in that value into this rich text box. I want to show the response from here. So what I'm going to do, just I will use I will read this response first. So where response equal to avoid, because we are using asynchronous method, that's why I'm using await here. If I'm using await, you need to make the consumer method also asynchronous. So yes, change it. So I'm able to read the message, and I'm able to store this message into one variable. After that, just I'm going to pass this text into the a JSON string into the my result. Ext response dot text equal to whatever the response I am getting from the API call. I'm going to pass it here. Control A. So it will arrange it. Now I will just what is happening. Okay, I'll put breakpoint here. Just I will go the form. I will hit the get all method and pressing F11 here. I can navigate into the application. So base URL already I declared here. You can see. Now I'm going step by step here. So HTTP client is initialized and so request is called. We got the status code 200 here and OK. And same I'm reading from the response from the content and I'm reading as a data. So I'm able to see the actual JSON string here. So same thing I'm going to return here. So I got the response here. Same response I'm going to pass to the my rich text box. Now I will just hit continue. See you can see the data here. Whatever the API from the API, whatever the data I'm getting, same thing I can able to see the, as a response into the rich text box. But if you noticed here the format, because it's a JSON string, that's it, just a string. But we are not formatting here because as per the real scenario, we won't get any formatted string. But if you are seeing here in website also we got like that only. This is not formatted. But if you are seeing here, it will be prettified. So they are using separate JS to show the proper JSON format as a prettify. So we can also make it if you want in Windows applications, we want to make it 55, we can make it. Okay, we will make one 55 here, this JSON, and further we will continue. Further in the existing helper class, I am going to use 55, beautify JSON. Public static string, it will return the string and name it as AUI beautify JSON. I'm using this method to beautify. I'm going to get parameter as a string response, string JSON str. Just I'm giving as a JSON str here. Here I'm going to use first I need to pass that string as whether it's JSON string or not. We need to pass that first. So for that I'm going to use JToken. JToken is a plugin. We need a Newton soft for that. So just I'm going to install Newton soft. In 2019 onwards, you can from here only you can without navigating into the NuGet manager, we can install it everything from here only. Just I'm going to hit this button. It will install the Newton soft for us. It will take some time. Install and it will refer it here. See, it's referred. Now issue got resolved. Now I'm going to use parse JSON equal to new of not new we are not using any initialization here. So JToken dot parse method I'm going to use here whatever the JSON string I'm getting, same string I'm going to pass it here. So I will pass the JSON here. So this JSON I'm going to beautify it. So just I will use return this first JSON dot to string. Here I am going to use formatting. Formatting. Yes. Dot. So formatting required newtons of JSON. Just select that. Now the formatting it will be resolved. To use intent. So now this string, first it validating whether this is JSON string or not. After that, based on the validation, I'm going to convert as a JSON intent here. So this our method is now fine. Now I'm going to use that method. Instead of response, I will use here same rest helper dot helper dot beautify JSON. I'm going to use that's it. So now we'll see the same response how it will work. I'm not going to debug now. Just I will run it. Now I'll hit. See, data is formatted. Just I will stop it. We got the API and our text is formatted successfully. Helper class again. The SQL. I copy this method and paste. Here instead of get all, I will make get and I will pass a string ID. So here I want to use getting the single response based on the ID. Again, I will go to the website to get the single response. This is the format. So user slash you need to pass the ID, whatever the ID you need to use. So I'm going to use here slash and plus whatever the ID. So just ID I am appending here, and again one more method I will copy here, Control C and Control V. So here I am going to use post. So here I need two field. If I'm going to the website again for post, what and all we need. Post we need name and job. Two parameters we need. So I will going to create two parameters for here. So one is I will use name. The other one is string job. And I'm using here post call. So post data means I need to use a post async instead of get async. So post async and post async you can see the URL. What is the URL we are using? Still user only, and we are passing as a JSON content as a input here. So you need to consider this. We need to pass as a JSON content here. So what I am going to do, this is not required now because our URL is correct. I'm going to use this one only. But see here we need two parameters. If we are force async, if we are seeing, we need a HTTP content. Content nothing but a form data or JSON string, whatever we are passing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the JSON content first. So I will just copy this. I want to use this as a input to the API. So what I will do, I will declare where input data, I will give name as input data equal to new of dictionary. Why? Because we will use as a key and value pair here. So I'm going to use string comma string. That's it. So here I'm going to use this as a key and value. Control C, control. Here I'm going to use name, whatever the parameter I'm getting, that I'm going to use. Should not hard code the value, and I'm going to use job and control. So this is my input. So I need to make this input as a content, HTTP content. So for that, what I will use, again I will declare one more variable input. I'm going to convert that new form URL encoded content. Here I am going to pass this input data. So automatically this it will convert into the HTTP content. This content I am going to pass it here as a post processing content. So I'm able to pass it here. Once is passed, I will get the response. Based on the response, whatever the response is coming, I'm reading as a string again, and I'm going to assign it here. So this post method done. We'll check how it's working. We will implement this post method. So for that, again I will go to the designer view here. For the post method, I will double click here. So just copy whatever the above code, just I paste it here. Instead of get, I'm going to use our post. Here we need two parameters. One is string name and job. So we already created the two text boxes here. One is if you are seeing here, this is txt name. Another one is txt job. This I'm going to use it here. So txt name dot text txt job dot text. So I'm going to pass that into the this method. See, I'm getting the issue. Why? Because we need to convert as a async here with this method, because we are using synchronous call. So I'm changing here as synchronous calls. So we get out the error, get out of the error. Now I will run the application. So post method is there here, and here I'm going to use array pl and job ssc senior software engineer, and hit the button. See, created it. So it created, and id is created, and sc name, so successfully executed. Okay, now so post method is working fine. Now I need to integrate this get also. Just I will change here async async, and I will copy the same get all Here I will change to get. Here we need one parameter. We need to pass the ID. So I will go here. You can see this is the text box ID text box txt ID is the name. I'm going to use this name here txt id dot text. Control S. Now I will hit the button, run button again. See here, get all. It will get the all record from the API. And if I want to specifically one record, I want, for example, I want ID number 2. Just I will select ID number 2, and I will get the ID number 2. And if I want to insert some records, I can give any text here, and I will post the records. So we completed get stuff and post stuffs, and I'm going to do now put and delete. Similar way, just similar way. Just go to again helper class. I'm going to create those methods, helper methods. Just I will copy this post content here. Control C, Control V. Instead of post, I'm going to make put. See, before that we will go for the put method. What and all the response we need to pass. So we need to pass three things we need to consider. One is whatever the user I'm going to update, that user ID I need to pass it in from the URL, and what and all data I'm going to update, those things I need to pass it in the value. So that means we are to think get and post both API things we need to sync. For the get, I need to use this ID, so I will take this string also here. Three parameters I will take for the put. For the get, what we are using actually, we are using this. I'm copying this. Control C. And paste it. So URL and input. I need to get it from the name, and the same input I'm using for the put. So everything done. Save, and here instead of post, I need to make put as put as done, and I will implement those things into the form. So just I'll use put here. For the post, whatever I'm using, same thing I'm going to use here. Just copy this, Control C, Control V. One more additionally, we need to pass the ID, which ID I'm going to update. Here I need to change to put. If I'm changing put here, then I need to make here async. Yes, OEM async response. So everything done. Now I'm going to hit the application. See, get all is working. So I want to which record I want to update. For example, I will put two and click to this I want to update. But this is the format is different. Don't worry because this is the fake response. I already said that fake API we create a fake response. So this we want to see how we are able to consume and how we are able to hit the API. That's it. So I'm going to give some text. I'm going to update here and put. So this updated. So updated data also we can. The put response is working same way. Delete I want to use. For the delete, it won't return any content. It will return empty only. But anyway, we will do that those things also. So I will go to the designer here and delete. So here I'm going to use one more thing, because here I'm not going to use the sorry, helper class. Some people, without helper class, how we can write? People might have the doubt those things, how I without helper class I can write it. So what I will do, I'm not using helper class here directly. I will write it here only for the delete method only. So whatever the things we have, just I'm going to copy. Anyway, I will copy this get method here. I will copy this and I will go here. Here only I will create one method. Instead of static, I'm not using static. I will use public, mm, private, or public also doesn't matter. You can use it public also, no problem. Now you need to solve the things. Threading we need, HTTP net we need, and base URL. Base URL we know already. Base URL now, right now I will hardcode the base URL. I will go to the delete method. What is the URL? Just copy the URL, copy the link address, and I'm going to add it here. This is not required. I will paste it here. Instead of 2, this 2 it will going to come from the ID. That's why I deleted the 2. 2 instead of that, dynamically we can pass the whatever the value we need. Here instead of get async, I'm now I'm going to make delete async, and I will change the method name delete. That's it, fine. Without helper class also you can achieve this. If you want some message, what is the status code? If I want to whenever I'm doing any operation, what is the status code I will get? Those things, if you want to wanted means, you can use here one message box dot show. Here, if you want to, what is the status code you want? Res dot status code. So this response dot status code you will get, and the message box it will accept to string only. So I will change to string. So status code, you will get what is the status code you are using for this API. What is the status code is written? You can see that if you want, and then this is completely optional. Okay, and I'm going to run this application. Before run, I need to use this method. So what I'm going to use, same things. I will just copy paste it here. Control C, Control V. Instead of rest helper, I will directly use the delete method here, and I will use async. Async. What is the problem? Yeah, we need to pass only one parameter because we created only one parameter. So that's it. It resolved. Here, one thing we want to know, that this delete method it won't return any message. So you will get empty message only. So anyway, we will run and we'll show what is happening. I will go here, hit the run button. So just I'll put which record I want to get. So I got this record. So ID is there right now here. Now I'm going to hit the button. See, no content. No content means there is no record, but it's deleted successfully. Uh, so here, see, you can't pass the string because it's returning is the empty string. Sorry, beautify, we no need to use this method, because if you're using beautifier here for the delete function, you will end up with the issues, because you delete method it won't return anything. So I'm not using this beautifier for the delete methods, so that it will solve your problem. And you want to see exact status code also. What is the status code? because you are seeing only message. I want to see the exact status code. Means just you have to put here, put one int because this is enum value, and it's going to return the what is the status code for this action. Just change. And you want to message also, just add it here. And as format the message, and whatever we are getting the string status code, just pass it. So simultaneously you will get message plus string. So this is completely optional, this line of code. If you want to see what is the status code and message based on the status code, if you want to do some action or some operations you need to do or some validations you need to do, that time it will be mainly used for this status code. Code you have to use int. If you want to use before the fix as a int, then only it will show as a integer value or else it will show as a string value by default. So just I will run this application. Now I will use some date, got the record, and I use delete. See, 404, that is the status code. Right now we got 200 series plus is a succeed. So get method and all, it will return 200, 200 as a status code. And the post method, it will return 201 as a status code. And this method, it will return 204. Okay, we got deleted, no response. Thank you, guys. I completed. I hope I covered all the topics related to consuming the web APIs. And if you have any doubts or queries, feel free to comment it